Before the launch of Cyberpunk 2077, CD Projekt Red has launched a tremendous marketing campaign, cranking up the hype and expectations to the max. By now we all know how that worked out for them, but that's a topic for another story. The result of the marketing campaign was a ton of Cyberpunk-themed products with the very recognizable yellow theme. We had laptops, phones, mousepad, drinks, and a dedicated Viper Ultimate from Razer with Cyberpunk 2077 branding on it. And this will be the hero of today's review. How's it going, everyone? I'm Razer, and in today's video we will be reviewing something most of you should be familiar with, although in a slightly different taste. I'm talking about the Razer Viper Ultimate Cyberpunk 2077 edition. First of all, let's have a look at the specs. And to be quite frank, nothing has changed here. We still have the same Focus Plus sensor with 1000 Hz polling rate, up to 20,000 dpi, 650 IPS tracking speed and a 99.6% accuracy rate. Next we have Hyperspeed, which is Razer's pick for wireless connectivity, which promises up to 25% faster response times than any other wireless technology out there. It's the same as with the original Viper, so no changes here. Finally, we have Razer optical switches, which replace the standard mechanical ones. There are pros and cons to this solution, and the main advantage is that the optical switches do not suffer from double clicks and similar mechanical failures, which has been a pain point for a lot of mice out there. The trade-off is the feeling of the click. They are quite different than the mechanical ones, a bit more hollow sounding, I guess. But it's not something that's deal-breaking, at least not for me. At the beginning I was aware of the different sound the clicks make, but after a couple of days it became normal and didn't bother me at all. If you're someone who cares about those things, I strongly suggest trying the clicks out in a shop before you buy the mouse, but like I said, you will probably stop noticing after some time. The battery is rated for up to 70 hours of use, but that's with the RGB turned off. Of course, the RGB accents are minimal to start with only the snake logo on the mouse lighting up when it's being used or charged. You can store up to 8 memory profiles on the mouse, and at the moment of recording of this video you cannot store RGB settings, which is a major overlook in my opinion. You can change the selected profile with a dedicated button at the bottom of the mouse. The technology used in Razer Viper Ultimate Cyberpunk edition is the same as with the vanilla Viper Ultimate. Tried and tested by hundreds of thousands of players out there, so I guess there was no reason to switch it up in this special edition of the mouse. After all, when you're releasing a product like this, you want no malfunctions and bugs, something CD Projekt Red might want to incorporate in the future. Okay, mean comments aside, let's move on with the review. The most differences you will notice is of course the color theme that Razer went with. Since it's a Cyberpunk 2077 themed mouse, it's wholly painted in Cyberpunk yellow, something a lot of players learned to fear, especially when it comes to announcements coming from Cyberpunk's official Twitter account. The mouse is bright yellow with black and blue accents. Right out of the box the logo lights up with cyan color, which matches the rest of the Cyberpunk theme, and it's a great attention to detail from Razer. Another thing worth commending is the color of the dock, which matches the mouse. Yes, the dock is yellow, as well as it has a cyan underglow, and it looks stunning. No matter if it's just standing there without the mouse or it's charging the mouse, it's a really nice addition for anyone who likes collectibles or out of the ordinary devices, which also serve a decorative purpose. Since I have the mouse, I have a couple of visitors and all of them commented on the look of the mouse, and I guess that's the main purpose of it. Other than that, we have the same 8 programmable buttons which you can configure to your liking, same ambidextrous shape which is great for both left and right-handed players, and 100% PTFE mouse feet which offer great glide right out of the box. The mouse weighs 76 grams, which is just 2 grams more than the normal Viper Ultimate, and my guess is that the difference in weight comes from the additional coat of paint that is necessary to cover the mouse with. The mouse is light but not the lightest mouse out there, with competitors like Logitech or Glorious pushing the boundaries even further. At this point I need to mention a couple of things that really bother me when it comes to design or build quality of the mouse. First thing is the side buttons. They're placed in a way that I tend to accidentally press the buttons on the right side when in a tight situation. Of course, this can be solved pretty easily by just disabling them, but I wish you could just take them out like you can in other mice out there. Another thing are wobbly left and right buttons. Again, it's nothing that makes the mouse unusable, but when I first got to play with it, I was a bit irritated by the way the buttons move left and right when, for example, readjusting your grip on the mouse or changing the direction in which you move it. Even more irritating is the fact that the wobble has a tactility to it, almost like a click, not as sharp or pronounced, but if you think about it, you can definitely feel it under your fingers. Again, I learned to live with it and I haven't had too much problems with it, but if you're sensitive to that kind of stuff, you should have that in mind. Oh yeah, the final thing is the scroll wheel. I mean, it's a matter of preference, but the scroll wheel for me feels cheap, especially when you scroll up. Just listen to this. Again, nothing game breaking, but I feel that a mouse that costs over $150 shouldn't sound like that. Now let's move on to things I really like about this mouse. The shape, the feel, the ergonomics of the mouse are very good. When you hold it in your palm, it feels great. The rubberized sides allowed for better grip. The mouse buttons are angled in and downwards, which feels really good and comfortable when you're using it. The side buttons are tactile and clicky, and you know exactly when you press them. There are no issues with tracking and connectivity, at least I had none, and the fact that you can connect your dongle to the charging dock is a fantastic solution. And the charging dock, a device worth praising and something that more manufacturers should look into. I mean, it's just so convenient to place your mouse on the dock at the end of the day and let it charge overnight, even with your PC turned off. Great stuff, and looks great too. And I think this is a good summary of the mouse. It has its flaws, which are minor, irritating things, and nothing that disqualifies the mouse completely. But the thing that for me makes up all the minor cons is the look of the mouse. It's a fantastic piece of technology that not only has the performance of a top-tier device, but also complements your setup very nicely, with either black, white, pink, or now the yellow cyberpunk color. I also believe that quality control has improved since the first version of this mouse has been released to the public, at least that's what I've heard from various testers and reviewers as well, and after roughly 100 hours of using this mouse, I cannot complain. Let's sum it up shortly. The Razer Viper Ultimate Cyberpunk 2077 edition, what a name, is a very solid mouse that offers top-tier wireless performance with some minor downsides, which for most won't probably even be a thing. So if money is not an issue for you, it will all come down to the shape of the mouse. If you like ambidextrous design, like with the Model O from Glorious, you will definitely love this mouse. It's expensive, but in my opinion the performance, combined with the exceptional looks, compensate for the additional dollars you will need to dish out. For me, it's the best looking mouse out there. Alright, that's it for today. If you liked the review, leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. I'm Lazer, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.